Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm FM and thanks for joining me for what is another Football Manager database. But before I get into the database and tell you all about it, as always, I'm going to try and promote my series with Manchester Central. Now, if you've never seen it, never checked it out, you'll find links to the entire series down below. I'm having a bit of a week break on it at the minute. If you are up to date with the series, it should be coming out pretty soon. We're in the big leagues and it's coming back with a bang, really. Hopefully you're looking forward to it. But if you've not seen it, check it out. If you're new to my channel, drop a subscription. I do loads of databases, loads of other content, and hopefully you'll stick around. And while you're here, give it a thumbs up, because if you're a comic book fan, you're going to love this database. Now, if you know me, you'll know I do like playing with the editor. I like the fantasy element of Football Manager. I love doing different things. Being Manchester United, as a Man United fan, or any big club really, bores me. Lower league saves are good, but I like doing something, I like creating things, and I like giving other people the chance to, you know, have a bit of fun, do things that they maybe can't do themselves with the editor. Now, I do pride myself on being quite good with the editor and coming up with ideas, but this idea isn't mine. One of my subscribers, Lee Greenshields, aka Greenando, that's his name, yeah. He came to me and said, "Look, Bood, I know you like doing databases. I've done a few, but this is the biggest one I've ever done. What do you think about it?" And I fell in love with it straight away. The first thing I thought was, I wish I'd thought of this idea, because after my family, my wife and my son, my big loves are the NFL, Manchester Central, and comic books. I'm a huge comic book geek. Marvel, DC and Variant, they're my three favourite. They're the main three anyway. I love them, love the history of it. So when he came to me with this Marvel database, I thought, wow. So, you know, we've had a look at it, and maybe I've tweaked a few things, but 99% of it is Lee's, and he's put a lot of hard work and effort into this database. Now, you might have missed someone out. You know, if you download the database yourself, you can add them. You might not have done things to your liking, but again, it's just a bit of fun, it's a bit of fantasy. And we're going to have a look at what he's done basically. I'm going to jump forward about 5 years into the future and see how it's developed. And it should be a lot of fun to play. Personally, as a comic book geek, I can't wait. So should we stop chatting? Hey? And let's see what he's been doing. Now we'll start off with the league we're in. And the league he's put the teams in is the Premier League. Now, he did consider initially putting them in the MLS, but unless you recreate a new league, the MLS restricts you with their salary cap and reputation and so on. So what he's done is started off with just two teams, and you've seen the thumbnail, and it is basically the Avengers versus Hydra. So a load of goodies from Marvel versus all the baddies from Marvel. Now, you do get a B team each, I'll show you that in a bit. They play in America, but you also get under 18s and under 23s as well. And you've got some of the most famous heroes and villains, not only as players but as staff, as owners, as agents. I mean, he has put attention to detail into this. I mean, he's made it's a lot of work doing this, so I understand how hard he must have worked, because I know, right? So this is his initial one. I think we've got plans to develop this. Personally, I like DC, and he's already made me some kits for it. So the next part in the future, maybe in a couple of weeks, will be Marvel versus DC. We're going to add you know, a villains team and a heroes team from DC, so, you know, Batman and so on. And so can't wait for that. But this is all about Marvel. It's all about the Avengers versus Hydra. So what we'll do is, first we'll kick off and we'll look at the Avengers. And here they are, the Avengers. Now what he's done as well is give both the Avengers and Hydra massive reputations, crazy ass massive stadiums, but they're under a transfer embargo for 10 years. Both teams have got a 10-year transfer embargo, so you can only bring through your own players from your academy. And it's all about trying to keep your players. If you take on this database, you take on this save, you've got to try and keep your team of heroes or villains, or even try and steal some from the other side. You know, Captain America become a baddie in recent Marvel comics. The Winter Soldier became a goodie. You know, things can change, and that can be the same for you. But yeah, some great characters and some cracking players, and yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Before we look at the squad, let's look at the facilities. And the stadium you're playing at is a 200,000 seater stadium, only a small one. MCU Park, which I'm pretty sure stands for the Marvel Cinematic Universe Park. It's in excellent condition. It's got a nice fancy grass and synthetic pitch, state-of-the-art everything. You've also got Avengers HQ on Long Island. That is your training facility. Again, that is a cracking training facility. So you've got all the bases here to build some great young players, great regen players who obviously won't be heroes. You know, you can give them nicknames if you want, if you want to make them into heroes. So when it comes to your facilities, out of this world. Now we're on to the main squad, and you'll notice the age of this main squad. They're all 17, and some of them are freaking amazing. Some of them is giving you a good spread. So I think that the top end heroes, you know, your likes of Iron Man, Wolverine, Hulk, Thor, Captain America, you know what I mean? They've got really high potential ability. They could become Lionel Messi's. They might not, but they could. And then, you know, as it goes down, just give it a good range. There's at least 3 different tiers of potential abilities in each squad. So, you know, you've got some fantastic players, and it's going to be hard to maybe keep hold of some of them, but it'll be good if you can, and you can build a great team with your superstar heroes. So let's have a look at the number 1 man. And that number 1 man is 17-year-old Tony Stark, aka Iron Man. And he has put all the detail in as much as he can, obviously apart from the date of births, where they've come from, who the friends are, and so on. You know, it's a lot of fun. Now, one thing you'll notice, there isn't a face pack, but he is actually developing the face pack. So when this video is released, there will be the database you can download from his Steam file, his Steam page. I'll put a link to that. I'll put a couple of save files in the description as well. And then if you keep looking back, maybe in the next week or so, you might see a link to a face pack download as well, because I know he's putting it together, but it's a lot of work. So fair play to him for doing that. So sooner or later you should be able to see Iron Man's face, Hulk's face, and so on. But if you see straight away, look, he's 17 years old, got loads of promise. I think he's probably about on the 150 mark for current ability, but you could go all the way up to the top if you're training right and giving the game time. Next we've got to look at Captain America, because I've got his t-shirt on. Also because he's the captain of the club. Do you know what I mean? And again, look, he's one of the better players. So he's starting off, he's a very good player. So even though his squad's only 17 years old, he should be able to do a good job in the Premier League, which is pretty cool. I can't believe it can be the Avengers. Personally, I like baddies myself. Now we could go through all these players, but it would take forever, and then I don't want to ruin it for you. And he has tried to be quite consistent with their character. So, you know, if you've got one of the bad guys who's a right angry git, he's going to be angry on here. You know, he's really thought about what he's going to do here. And, I mean, like anything like this, you might not please everyone, especially if the people out there like yourself, maybe, who are a comic book fan, maybe, and a Football Manager fan. You might have missed something. But one thing I really love that he's done on the game is he's created all the fantasy cities and countries. And one of those fantasy countries is called the Cosmos, and he's done that because there's characters in Marvel like Thanos, people from outer space, and you can't get all them space planets as a nation. So he's converted a nation here into the Cosmos. So you'll see there, if you look at the top players, you've got Thor, Loki, Groot, Ronan the Accuser, do you know, Thanos. So I mean, it's really good. And he's not just obviously created the Cosmos, he's also created Wakanda, where the Black Panther's from, and also Eric Killmonger, the baddie in the new movie. If you're wondering where Black Panther was, he's for some reason under 23s, and you've got a good spread here, and the computer will split the squad up at the start. But it'd be up to you to go through it and say, nah, I want Black Panther in the first team, and, you know, build your squad. But you've got a massive pool of players to start with, where you can pick your first team, maybe put some in the 23s, and then maybe move some to your B team in America. Now here we are on the Avengers staff, and straight away it's full of great names. You've got Stan Lee, who obviously the father of Marvel, he's the owner of the club. Nick Fury is the chairman. Maria Hill, Greenando is a director. I'm also a director, but of Hydra. We put work into this. I thought we'd put us in it, not as players, but we're both directors. Potential future chairman, you never know. Pepper Potts as well. And then you've got director of football Phil Coulson. Professor X is the manager, and he's a cracking manager, by the way. Look at Professor X. Brilliant. He's 56 years old. And again, you've got Jean Grey, Legion, who's Professor X's son. Sue Storm, the Beast. Great names. A lot of the women obviously can't be players, unfortunately, but they can be on the game. So a lot of women heroes and villains you'll find are either coaches or physios and so on. So yeah, he's put a lot of work into this. A lot of work. Hopefully you're going to enjoy it. So moving on to the bad guys. Sinister Brotherhood of Hydra. Magneto's the manager. You've got Thanos as your captain. And you've got the Red Skull as vice captain. Technically, Red Skull is the boss of Hydra, but come on. Yeah, it's still freaking cool. And they're playing at the Hydra HQ, which is also a 200,000 seat stadium. Let's have a look at their facilities. Now, I didn't mention earlier when I was talking about the Avengers facilities and the clubs, but they are actually based in America. You might notice that with the Avengers, and they're based in New York, and you'll see Hydra based in Washington DC. But just like Cardiff and Swansea are based in Wales and play in England, same situation here. So they're just playing in technically one of the best leagues in the world, but they are still based in America. They're an older club though, because obviously Hydra have been around since World War II in the comics, whereas the Avengers haven't. Do you know what I mean? So it's little thought. I love little things like that. I really do. And again, yeah, you've got everything's top of the range, exactly the same. You've got the, I can't say that. Is it Tricillion training complex? State of the art as well. So yeah, should have a lot of fun creating the bad guy regions of tomorrow. Here we are with the squad. Thanos, got Loki, Venom, Ultron, Hobgoblin, Doctor Doom, Kilgrave, the Ironmonger, Doctor Octopus. I mean, it is brilliant. I mean, you've got Whiplash as well. You'll have players in the 23s. We'll just have a quick look at Thanos. And he's a bit of a beast. Central midfielder. Animal, really. 16 years old. And yeah, he comes from the cosmos. I love it. We'll have a look here. He's created, where is it? I think he's turned Latvia into Latveria. How good's that? You know where Doctor Doom's from? Brilliant. I love it. So if you're from Latvia, sorry, but Lee has taken over your country, but you've got to be on it, Latveria. I mean, all the countries are in it. It's created extra cities as well. So yeah, I mean, even you could be the manager of the Cosmos if you wanted to. On to the staff, and you've got the owner, which is the Green Goblin, of course. Chairman is Wilson Fisk. You see me up there as a director as well. And again, it's just a list of baddies. Magneto, the Mandarin, Ulysses, Angel Dust, Baron von Strucker, William Stryker, the guy who's always trying to wipe out the X-Men. So it is pretty cool. The only thing you'll notice is, like on any database, you can't have a doctor, which annoys me. Doctor's always a regen. It's a waste of time. I hate that part of this game. Why can't we just have a doctor that we can hire and fire ourselves? Now we're on the general page of Hydra. We didn't look at this with the Avengers, but I'm only on this really to show you they do have a derby. Obviously we've got nicknames. The nickname of the Hydra is Hail Hydra, but there's a derby, so you've got a specific derby called the Marvel Derby. Now I was thinking maybe making the clubs never hate each other that much, they never sign players off each other, but Lee made a great point that, you know, like I said earlier, maybe that people can change sides. Goodies become baddies, baddies become goodies, and that's what can happen on this database. Right then, here we are with the season preview for the very first year, and even though both squads have got squads of 17-year-olds, they're both favourites. That's because of their reputation. These young players are very, very good. And if you look at the team as well, I think if you have a look at it, you've got Blade at left back. I love that. With Venom on left wing. That is brilliant. But yeah, the only two real players to make it into the media dream team is David De Gea in net and Sergio Aguero up front. Yeah, there's some quality here. And I can imagine when we jump forward 5 years, you know, they're going to sell some players. They're going to pick the best of the best out of the teams. Maybe the managers get sacked. Maybe Professor X is the manager of Manchester City and Pep Guardiola is now the manager of the Avengers. We don't know, but that's what we're going to do. And when I obviously release this video, I will put a save file from the beginning, and I'll put a save file from 5 years into the future as well. I like to give you multiple options to just dive in. But yeah, should we have a look? What happens in 5 years? Who's the most victorious? Is it good or is it evil? Welcome to the Premier League. It's July 2022, and if you look straight up there, you'll see it kind of have been dominated by the heroes. Apart from the last one, Chelsea managed to win the last Premier League. The Avengers have won 3 and Hydra have only won 1. Be interested to see what else they've won. But let's have a look at last season. How did Chelsea pip the heroes? Wow, 3 points. So Hydra came 3rd, Avengers came 2nd, but Chelsea won the title. Fair enough. If we have a look at the season preview for this new season, the Avengers are favourites though. Hydra second. Chelsea are down in 5th, even on champions. If we do look at the media Dream 11, Spider-Man's now the goalkeeper. And I'd say that is a full team apart from the right winger of heroes and villains. Captain America and Iron Man are key players for Avengers, Apocalypse and Doctor Doom are the key players up there. You see that there. For Hydra. I love this. So we'll start with the good guys, eh? And here we are on the Avengers history page for trophies, and initially it looks pretty good because obviously they start the game with nothing. And in the last 5 years they've won 2 Champions Leagues, 3 Premier Leagues, they've been World Champions once, they've won 3 FA Cups, a League Cup and 2 Community Shields, so not too shabby really. But it'd be interesting to see they've still got Professor X as the manager. Professor X still the gaffer, Captain America still the captain, Iron Man's vice captain and also their key player. I love them kits. Lee designed these kits, by the way. He's on another level, man. Quality kits. Let's go through the transfers. Now, obviously, it's still under the transfer ban. That doesn't end until 2027. It's only 2022. Now, in that first year, they just loaned out loads of players. Absolutely loads of them. Nothing really happened. In the second year, again, they just loaned out loads of players, which is good. The third year, again, loaned out loads of players. So they're not selling anyone, the Avengers. Maybe that's a sign of why they've been more successful. Don't know. Again, the next year, they've sold £10 million worth of players. Let's just change it. Groot has gone to Chelsea for £3 million. What? Groot defender. Look how good he is. Why would you sell him to Chelsea? That's why Chelsea won the league. They've got a freaking 20-foot tree in defence. No one's getting past him. Wow. I mean, look, he's 6'11". Anyway, I've got to see these guys in action. Groot is 6'11" and weighs 19 stone. You ain't getting past him. Just stands there like, I am Groot. Love it. Next up, 7 million. Let's have a look. Where'd they get that from? Did they sell anyone? Not really important. And then this year, nothing's happened yet this year. So really, the only major player they've sold is the massive tree that is the Groot. Here we are with the Sinister Brotherhood that is Hydra. Hail Hydra. And they've got Diego Simeone as the manager, who's one of my favourite managers. Whenever I do experiments on Football Manager, he is the boss, honestly. And he's the manager of Hydra, which is pretty mental. So let's go on history and have a look at managers. So Magneto was in charge for just short of a year really and got sacked. Never got a chance to do anything. He lost that initial race with Professor X and got sacked and now doesn't exist. So yeah, Magneto is no longer in the game, which is sad. Sad to see that, I'll be honest with you. Diego Simeone's been the manager for 4 years, won a league and 5 cups, so he's not done too bad. And I'd like to see Magneto still in charge. And this is the first year of transfers, and straight away they sold a couple of lads. They sold the Juggernaut to Liverpool for a freaking absolute ton of money. Good player. And they sold Eric Killmonger as well. So there you go. Next year they brought in 67 million. They're selling all the players. Why are you doing this? They sold Gideon to Manchester City. This is maybe why they're not as successful. They've sold their players. They brought in again 65 million. So they wanted, but they're selling all the better players. Look at this. Jigsaw's gone now to freaking Man City. Not happy. I'm not happy about this. I'm a director. Next year they obviously didn't sell that many. Not anyone important anyway. The next year again, so maybe they've just cut the dead wood. Yeah, it looks like they just cut the dead wood, haven't they, and kept the rest. Now I might have said they didn't win as much because obviously I've only looked at the leagues and we looked at the Avengers competition history. But if we go on this Hydra's competition history, they've still done well. I mean, you can't really knock it, can you? They've still won a Champions League, they've won a Premier League title, we knew that. And they went on and became world champions. They've won a UEFA Super Cup, they've won a League Cup, and they've won a Community Shield. So that's a good lot of trophies. Now looking at players' search list of all the best players in the world, and you see the heroes dominate really. You got Paulo Dybala at Paris Saint-Germain. He always comes to the Premier League. That's the first time I've seen him sign for anyone but Arsenal or United, I'll be honest with you. Mbappe and Martial are up there as well. Senio's at Manchester City, and Paul Pogba at United. But the best player in the world, financially by £1 million, is Thanos. The one thing that surprised me is the Ballon d'Or winners. Ever since we've started this, you've had Messi, Isco, Neymar and Messi. So, not the heroes yet. They are still all young. I mean, they'll all be, what, 22 years old now. So they've got a chance to probably dominate, and they probably will dominate some of it over the next few years. But I am surprised they haven't had a Ballon d'Or winner. But when it comes to the Golden Boy, they haven't won the last one, a regen for Chelsea has, or the one before that. But Iron Man did win the first 3 for himself and the Avengers. So that's a bit encouraging. You can see Iron Man going on and becoming a Ballon d'Or winner one day. So there we go, that is the end of the Marvel database, the Avengers versus Hydra. It's a lot of fun. It is a bit of a fantasy, maybe just take you out of your comfort zone and give you something different, maybe, you know, excite you about Football Manager again, because it does get boring. A lot of us like playing all year round, but it does get boring being real normal teams. And some people can't create their own clubs, and this gives you the perfect chance, especially if you're into your comics, to play something different, play with some of your favourite heroes or villains. So hopefully you enjoy it. Again, look down below in the description, you'll find the database link to Green Ando's Steam page and his database. I'll put a couple of save files down there for download, and in the future hopefully there'll be face packs and so on. I will put the kits and the logos down below as well. So if you did enjoy this video and you think you're going to enjoy this database, smash the thumbs up. Make sure you follow me and Green Ando on Steam. If you're new, subscribe to my channel. I've got the best series in Manchester on here, and loads more content coming. Loads of databases and experiments coming in the future. So you're not going to want to miss them, are you? Come on, join the family. Right, thanks for watching. Means a lot. Hopefully you enjoy it. I've been Booed. As always, you've been great. I'll see you next time.